Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging hour discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, 𝗘𝗀𝗁𝗁, provides you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management strategies, new construction advice, home improvement tips, and much, much more. And now, to guide you around the world of real estate, here's your host and Real Estate Radio Live team leader, 𝗘𝗀𝗁𝗁.
Welcome in. Good afternoon. 𝗘𝗀𝗁𝗁 with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this afternoon. Just a reminder for those just tuning in, we're with you 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 3 to 4. We have some bonus time for you on Wednesdays and Fridays. You could actually tune in and listen to us from 2 to 4. And you could do that a couple different ways. One is on your radio at KDOW 1220 AM. You can also listen to us live online if you go to KDOW.biz. That's KDOW.biz. Listen to us live online. You could download an app. And exciting to announce, we have our new podcasting program. So follow us anywhere, listen to us anywhere. If you go to RERadiolive.com and click on that big old giant button that says podcast, and you could download those podcasts. Listen to our show anywhere you go. We're a live show. We love your calls and your questions. If you have any questions during the show, there's a couple ways to communicate. One is the toll-free number, 1-800-516-1220, or you also could text us. We have a live text line at 408-838-9060. Most of you know that have been following us. The focus of the show is education and information, and we provide that on a regular basis to the consumers to help them make wise decisions with their real estate transactions. We do that by inviting great guests like I have today, providing you with good content to establish and accomplish that. So with that, let me invite my guest in, who is no stranger to the show. She's been here a couple times. Rosie Poliquin, she's a broker associate with Intero Real Estate Services. Good to have you back, Rosie.
Hi, Joe. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, the South County expert.
Thank you. Yes, I'm excited to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity.
No, it's great because we need, you know what I love is the experts in all these different areas. Because as you know, there's a few real estate agents out there, right? Just a couple.
Just a few.
So it's always good to have experts in different areas, and there's so much growth. There's so much going on in South County. It's great to have you here on a regular basis every once in a while giving us an update. So thanks.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for being back. Well, why don't let's get started. Give us a little background about yourself, how long you've been in real estate, and what are you up to down in Gilroy these days?
Absolutely. It's been quite busy for me. I've been selling real estate for a little over 10 years now, and I recently launched a brand new website, which is, I've changed the name up. It's actually my name, so it's www.rosiepoliquin.com. Okay. Been doing a lot more live posts on Facebook and Twitter, just a little more activity online, which I think a lot of is very helpful, especially when you're trying to share real estate information. And I also have a new home seller guide, which can be found on my website. So great tips for home sellers that are thinking of moving. And that's a free guide they can download. And since I've last been here, I actually have a couple houses that are going to be coming up. One is huge property in Gilroy. It's on 41 acres of land. It's going to be priced at $2,900,000. And 2 properties there on that piece of land, and it's excellent place. And then one of the other places that I wanted to talk about is a little area known as Country Estates in Gilroy, which is, I call it the Hollywood Hills of Gilroy, only because it's a beautiful location, and some of the homes actually have views into the city of Gilroy, but also some valley views on the
This is a new development?
No, actually,
it's not.
Okay. It's a great, it's beautiful estates, and they're priced very affordable, especially if you're coming from San Jose, and the commute's not too bad. So we'll talk about that, later on in the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the topic today, kind of. I mean, other than getting an update from you and letting us know what's going on, some of the unique properties that are coming on board, and then some other information. We're specifically going to talk about the commute. You just talked about coming from San Jose back and forth. So give us an update on the commute, kind of the strategy, what's going on, what's that commute look like today? And I guess you're going to speak to both kind of Morgan Hill and Gilroy coming into San Jose.
Absolutely.
Maybe you could give us kind of an update, how that's going. I mean, all of us know the the blessing in disguise, we have this wonderful, strong economy. So that's a good thing for all kinds of reasons. But then along with a strong economy means more cars, more traffic, a lot of the stuff.
More jobs, more people. Yeah. There's a lot of activity, exactly.
So how is that going? Let's talk a little bit about the commute and some of the things that are taking place to alleviate that a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, the commute, what's happening right now, according to Caltrans for 2010, there are approximately, we're looking at people commuting into Silicon Valley, Santa Clara County. So from the East Bay, there's approximately 108,000 people commuting from the East Bay into Silicon Valley. And I've looked at also the peninsula. We've got about 83,000 people. From San Joaquin Valley, there's about 30,000 people. And then within Santa Clara County itself, for people who live within Santa Clara, commuting within the county as well, is 762,000 people commuting within the county. And that's projected to go up to 1,031,000 by 2030. So you're right. There's a lot more people here, a lot more jobs, a lot more growth, basically. So a lot of things that I've been looking into basically is, what are companies doing to help people get through this influx of workers and people commuting into Santa Clara County. And we know there are the Wi-Fi shuttles that are offered by Google, Apple, and Yahoo. They're dropping off at Caltrain stations and trying to help alleviate the commute there. And then those trains are also Wi-Fi enabled. For Gilroy specifically, we do have Google, Apple, and Yahoo buses coming out there, and they are picking up at the Caltrain station. I found one person out in Gilroy who's taking the Apple shuttle, and it took them about an hour and a half to get to Silicon Valley, but they get to do work on the train. It's Wi-Fi enabled, so for them, it's they're not stuck in traffic with two hands on the wheel, stressed out about driving during that commute.
When you say the Google buses and Apple buses, now does that mean anybody could ride those, or those specifically for their employees?
Those are specific tech company commuter buses, exactly. And then we also have, or what I've heard of, is the short haul buses. You have, a company, for example, like NVIDIA has a bus where they pick up what's called the last mile. So they'll pick up folks at the train station and then drive them the last few miles, or shuttle them to the main campus or wherever their employees go to work. So there's those buses as well. So there's additional commute options other than driving the freeways and having that long commute. Additionally, down in Gilroy, Caltrans just started operating their metering lights a couple days ago. Yeah, absolutely. So this is great because, a couple days ago, I kind of questioned a few of the neighbors out in Gilroy and who are commuting. They didn't really notice anything, but today somebody posted that they noticed an improvement in traffic. And another friend also mentioned that they've noticed an ease to getting on the commute and driving into Silicon Valley.
Just since the lights came on.
Since the lights came on, absolutely. So that's something that's really exciting for commuters or anybody who's thinking about moving down to Morgan Hill, San Martin, or Gilroy area. So additional benefits, just like people have out in San Francisco who are commuting or who are taking the trains out from the East Bay and all that. We also have that.
Very good. If you're just tuning in, again, this is 𝗘𝗀𝗁 with Real Estate Radio Live. We're with you 5 days a week. Today I have in studio our guest that's been here several times, Rosie Poliquin. She is a broker associate with Antero Real Estate Services. Giving us an update on South County, but more importantly, talking about that transportation, the commute, and some of the alternatives and some of the things that are coming up with to try to alleviate some of that stress on the roads. So this is it's funny. You're talking about South County. We're talking about the challenges of the commute, but I think what you're saying also is that whether you're coming from the East Bay or some people are still coming from Central Valley, no matter what, there are people coming from all other directions into Silicon Valley, isn't there?
Into Silicon Valley, exactly. That's the thing. And when it comes down to where am I going to live? I got a new job in Silicon Valley. What's the lifestyle going to be like for me? And how is the traffic going to affect that? Because, one of the taglines that I came up with for my brand and my website is called "Let the Lifestyle Move You." And for me, that means, you want to live in a place where you're going to enjoy the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. You don't want to live just to work, but you want to, have your job and then let your life be the thing that leads you to enjoy, your where you want to live. And I think having an easier commute will lead to a happier lifestyle.
Yeah, you could certainly. We've talked about it before. You get so much more for your money out there, right? Mm-hmm. And then how do you think the big thing a lot of us are hearing about now with the millennials, and I think there's just a segment no matter what, and everybody wants different things, but the big movement now is away from, really getting in closer to towns, walk to towns. People like the idea, especially where you could ride a bike, you go to restaurants, you could do all this stuff pretty close. But there still are quite a few people that would like to drive a little more or wouldn't mind driving a little bit more because they want a little bit of that country feeling or the fact that they could get more for their money.
Absolutely. You can get a lot more space down in South County. You don't have to be so close to your neighbors. Or, but depending on price, if you can only afford a house where you're close to the neighbors, is much more affordable than being in the heart of Silicon Valley. Because, like you said, the millennials, some of them want to live in the urban lifestyle. Right? You have the shop like Santana Row. You have the shops on the first floor. You've got the condo on the second floor. And those are maybe first-time home buyers who want to jump in the market, but also want the flexibility of a lifestyle of being close to work. Maybe they can bike to work, that sort of thing. So that is a different need. That's a different lifestyle for certain folks. Other folks being in South County might be a great location for them.
Good point. We're going to have to take our first break in a little less than 2 minutes. So as you look through this, I guess a lot of these, how does the Gilroy Morgan Hill commute compare to, the East Bay and Fremont, some of these places where people have been coming to for years? Is it pretty similar, or does it just depend on what time of the day you go back and forth, or are they pretty similar, their commutes?
It depends. The check that I did was basically around commute times, peak commute times. So I can run the numbers for you. We basically did a check compared from Santa Clara 101 area and Great America Parkway, and from Gilroy. You're looking at right now, just before the metering lights have come in, we're looking at about 76-minute commute in the morning at 7:30 a.m. In the evenings, your commute would be about 58 minutes. And that was basically specific to this week's time. So depending on traffic conditions,
could have
depending
some improvement there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, very good. All right, we're going to have to take our first break. When we come back, much more. If you have any questions for Rosie or me, a couple different ways you communicate, easy for me to say. 1-800-516-1220 is the toll-free number. Also, you could text 408-838-9060. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about South County, all the benefits, and much more. We'll be back with you in just a couple minutes.
For more information on today's program, visit 𝗓radiolive.com. That's 𝗓radiolive.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit 𝗓radiolive.com. That's 𝗓radiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome back in. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. We're joined in studio for the entire hour by Rosie Poliquin. She is a broker associate with Antero Real Estate Services and our South County expert. Made the commute from Gilroy to San Jose to be on the radio show today. We appreciate that very much. We're talking about the commute, South County, and some of the things that are taking place with the growing economy. Everybody's affected by this. And then, so we're going to finish up talking about that. And then Rosie's also going to talk a little bit about the market in Gilroy and Morgan Hill and give you some updates on some exciting things that are going on down there as well. If you have any questions for Rosie or me, 1-800-516-1220 is a toll-free number, or you could text 408-838-9060. 𝗥𝗲𝗡𝗡𝗧. So I think you want to, Rosie, when we left on the first segment, you want to finish up on some of the commute, some of the times and comparisons.
Exactly. And again, this is looking at Santa Clara 101 Great America area, just the different times for traveling into Silicon Valley. For example, San Ramon, it's about a 35-mile commute.
Mm-hmm.
At 7:30 in the morning, the average time it takes is about 54 minutes. And then in the evening at about 5:30, it's 57 minutes. I have a friend who just moved to Brentwood, and interesting thing is that that's a 60-mile drive.
Wow.
So people go out to Brentwood because it's affordable as well. It's not as expensive as Silicon Valley. But according to the traffic time, 7:30 a.m. commute is about 106 minutes coming in the morning, and then in the evening it's 97 minutes. So there's kind of a sacrifice there. You know, you're giving up a little bit of your lifestyle, right? Because you have no time left to enjoy your life at home. And then for Pleasanton in the East Bay, which is 28 miles in the morning, it takes 51 minutes to get to Silicon Valley. And then on the way home, it's about 51 minutes as well. So that's pretty even. Fremont is only 10 miles away, and that takes 24 minutes. So those are good locations to be as far as commute goes, Fremont area. And then 37 minutes to get home from San Mateo, 26 miles away. We're talking about half hour in the morning to get into Silicon Valley, and then on the way home it's 42 minutes. But again, Gilroy, 35 miles away, beautiful location. It's less populated, beautiful hills, beautiful views, quiet. 76 minutes in the morning to get to Silicon Valley, and then 58 minutes to get home, and that's right now before the metering lights.
The metering lights, so that should improve. It'd be interesting to see, like a month or so from now, how much difference that makes. Exactly.
And then one of the other, another option that people have is something called 𝗥𝗱𝗋𝗡𝗏𝗏. Now, I've been in communication with the gentleman that owns this company, and he started a service. He used to work out in Silicon Valley and bring people in from the tech companies. He has Wi-Fi tech buses, and what he's done is basically has a website and an app where people can sign up and say, and I need to go to such and such a place. He does go currently to Santa Clara. So this would be a great option for people who don't want to drive in the commute. It's a Wi-Fi bus. He picks up at Caltrain station, and then we'll take people. Right now, he's looking for more riders in Gilroy and Morgan Hill. I just got a notification from him. So this is another great option for people who are trying to commute and don't want to take the drive. Get on a Wi-Fi bus and have the employers pay for that service for employees. So that's another option for commuters that want to get out of the heart of Silicon Valley and move to a beautiful lifestyle in the South County.
Well said. So you probably don't know, and I just, as we're talking, what's coming to my mind is, do you see a diverse age group making the move out there, or is it across the board, like a younger generation, older, just depending on where they are in their life? It's
really across the board. I've got first-time buyers right now that are buying, and they're very young family. They live in Santa Jose, Santa Clara border. And they can afford Gilroy and Hollister area actually. So that's this. They are dying. They're closing escrow this week, so they're definitely excited about getting into the place and being out of a rental. And that's the thing. Rental costs are outrageous. So.
Yeah, get out there and buy. We're going to take a break, but get out there and buy, right? This is the right time.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a little bit slower compared to what's been going on, it seems like. We'll talk a little bit about that. And rates are still extremely low. Once they go up next year, that will be a different story. So get out and buy. Let's do a campaign. Get out and buy.
Get out and buy. Let the lifestyle move you.
There you go. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, and much more. If you have any questions, again, for Rosie, South County, anything about real estate, 1-800-516-1220, or you could text 408-838-9060. It's Joe Cucchiara with the Real Estate Radio Live. We'll be back with you to continue in just a couple of minutes.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit 𝗟𝗡Radiolive.com. That's 𝗟ERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome back in. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. We have in studio joining us for the entire hour Rosie Poliquin with broker with Associate in 𝗟𝗀 Real Estate Services, talking about the beautiful South County.
That's right.
The beautiful South County, and also the commute, some of the challenges, some of the things, some of the changes. And you were talking about the times, you're comparing cities and also some different transportation services. But then we have the commuter lane, really, what's coming up soon, right? Maybe give us a little update on what's going on with that.
Definitely. That's a new express lane. So according to the Metropolitan Transportation Committee, there are plans for an express lane, which is a fast-track lane. And you might have seen these down in Southern California. I know they have them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they have them, I believe, right around San Ramon area. And those are expected to be in operation in Morgan Hill by 2020. So that'll make it easy. It's for commuters, but any solo riders who want to pay for the toll can use this electronic toll system, and so they'll be able to use that coming up. And then that's also expected to expand in Gilroy by the year 2035. So another great option. So just move down to Gilroy, Morgan Hill area, and then pretty soon your commute will be stress-free.
You would think with all the the high-tech companies and more of the flexibility, so to speak, it seems to be companies these days, telecommuting, working from your house a couple of days a week, all those things. You would think that would alleviate some of this. And it's just interesting. It'd be interesting to do a show sometime on, how much of Silicon Valley or a percentage of the companies that actually have that flexibility. In other words, the 8 to 5. Do people have the ability to come in later, leave earlier, do some different things, work from home a couple of days a week?
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of companies started that, but then they started taking that back. Because I think people would end up taking advantage of the time frame. So they are really bringing that back. They come back to work because you're more productive if you're in the office. Well,
it depends on the person, but I could see that. I think it became a problem maybe for accountability and productivity, but because that has when you think about it, those times, it's amazing. Everybody, so many people are working in those time frames. Mm-hmm. So if you had some flexibility. Exactly.
If you do have flexibility, and again, the South County is a perfect location for it. As I was mentioning, one of the locations that we have out in Gilroy is a beautiful location called Country Estates, which to me it really is like the Hollywood Hills of Gilroy, because there's a huge house, huge lot, very affordable, and you can work from home and just enjoy the views and the peacefulness and then again, all the things that Gilroy has to offer, the wine tasting, the shopping, everything is literally 12 minutes from where you live in Gilroy and Morgan Hill.
Yeah. Well, let's start. We have just less than a couple of minutes for this segment, and then we'll continue. But we could start getting into the kind of the numbers, the housing numbers for Morgan Hill and Gilroy. Also, be interesting. Radio is best when you tell stories or give descriptions the best we can. So the example or maybe comparison, when we come back, you could think about giving an example of what a person could get for, like, say, $1.3 million in Gilroy versus $1.3 million in, Sunnyvale or Los Gatos or Willow Glen or something like that.
Sure, absolutely.
Square footage, how new is the home, what's the lot size. Be interesting because there's a difference, isn't there? I mean, it's a significant difference.
It's definitely a huge significant difference. And again, if you want to have a little bit less stress with the mortgage payment, then for sure South County is a place to go to. Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, and much more. Again, if you have any questions for Rosie about South County or anything about real estate, 1-800-516-1220 or text 408-838-9060. We'll be back with you in just a couple minutes.
For more information on today's program, visit 𝗟ERadiolive.com. That's 𝗟ERadiolive.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome back in. Thank you again for checking in with us today, spending some time with us. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. And we're joined in studio for the entire hour. Just a couple segments left here by Rosie Poliquin. She's a broker associate with Antero Real Estate Services. We're talking about South County, some of the commutes, what's going on with the commute times. They will be improving, according to the expert. We have some timer, what are they called? The meter lights just started, so should get some improvement there. But now we're going to get into the real estate part of the South County. We're going to hear about some numbers, some comparisons, how the market's doing. Give us a little update on both Morgan Hill and Gilroy, if you will.
Sure. So I ran the numbers from July through September. So the last quarter, the number of homes sold in Morgan Hill was 138.
Okay.
Average days on market is 33. So homes are moving. And the median price at that time was $875,000. And for Gilroy, we had sold 155 homes, so it's definitely more than what we've seen in the previous year. And then that was 29 days on the market, and median price that is $645,000. Now, if we compare that to July through September of 2014, in Morgan Hill, we sold 146 homes, which was a little bit more. Average days on the market was 36. So that's about the same, but the median price was less. It was $718,000 in 2014. And then for Gilroy, we sold from July through September 2014, we sold 135 homes, which was less than it is now. And then average days on market was 43. So they sat on the market a little bit longer. And the median price there was $585,000. And currently in Gilroy, you can get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the low to mid 500s. So any first-time buyers, anybody looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you can easily find something there. We have homes available, and also some newer homes and larger homes that are 3-bedroom, 2-bath, all the way up to $700,000 in Gilroy is available. So you have a variety of home styles in Gilroy. That's one of the nice things. And currently, what we have available for sale in Morgan Hill, we have 67 homes. In Gilroy, we have 118 homes available. So we have a lot of inventory, a lot of product, something for everybody. And in San Martin, we have 8 houses for sale. Morgan Hill, we have 73 that's in contract, that's pending. In Gilroy, we have 59. So, homes are moving. And San Martin, we have 15 that are in contract that's pending right now.
Isn't there going to be a lot of building underway in Gilroy, though, in the next couple of years, right? I mean, I know Morgan Hill a little bit, but there's a tremendous amount of growth and building going to be taking place in Gilroy, right?
When I first came on the show, the first thing that I talked about was the 𝗥𝗲𝗓 project, which is about 1,700, I think it's right around 1,600 homes. And that is definitely underway. Several builders have land there, and they've already started grading and putting up houses.
Wow.
We have several communities, and they're kind of popping up all over throughout Gilroy. So, again, we're going to have more people moving in. And as prices go up, now it's definitely a good time. With rates being so low, now is definitely a good time to get in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these numbers, and, I've done several shows on the cost of waiting. And this is kind of an example. We've been talking about this for a couple of years. Just year over year, I don't have the exact numbers, but if I look at these real quickly, it looks like 15-20% appreciation growth in Morgan Hill and Gilroy, both year over year in the last year.
Exactly.
And that's a large amount of money. I mean, that's not only you have historically low interest rates, but again, no one ever expects, oh my gosh, my house is going to go up 15-20% a year. That's not what we're saying. But that was an example. If people are waiting and wondering, the difference in a year, what the difference a year makes.
Right, there's a cost. The people who are renting, they've given that money over to their landlord, and unfortunately, they've kind of lost out on some equity. And this is the same thing we talked about the last time I was here. I did the same kind of analysis, and even from that point, home values did go up. So I think, Yeah, not only equity, and not to make these people feel worse, but get off the fence and make a decision if you're in that position, because
you not only lose equity, but the big thing is the tax advantage. A lot of people forget about the ability to write off interest, mortgage payments, and property taxes, offset your income, and allows you to take home more each month and actually reduce your taxes. So it's really a situation where, again, people should take advantage only if it makes sense for you. You don't want to run out and buy a house if you can't afford it or if it doesn't make sense. But I guess, it'd be interesting to hear what you feel, Rosie, in terms of, the growth is probably not going to slow. Look at the building that's taking place in Gilroy. They would be building more here if they could, but there's not much space left here in Silicon Valley. So they will be building. They have to accommodate this, and more people, especially first-time home buyers and people who want a little bit more, really should consider Gilroy and Morgan Hill. And I think, I'm not sure that it's talked about enough. You're on the show, of course, every once in a while, but do you guys, come to the Silicon Valley and do a lot of different things to try to promote that area? How does that work in general?
This is where my platform is. I'm here on the radio. I've got a blog. I'm talking about it all the time on Facebook. I'm talking to my customers and clients and just trying to tell everybody as much as I can. And I think that's why it drives me to be here, because I do see a lot of people who miss opportunities. And for somebody in my business, sometimes it's hard to watch, because I end up, feeling bad for folks who are like, I wish I would have done this, a few months ago. I wish I have too.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're going to take a break here in a minute or so, but these are some really, really solid numbers. So when we come back, maybe finish up on those. And then also talk a little bit about the schools, shopping, maybe some things that are going on for lifestyle. Some of the towns, I know both Gilroy and Morgan Hill, what's going on with the downtown areas. We could catch up on that as well.
Definitely.
All right, we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we are going to continue. If you have any questions, 1-800-516-1220 or text 408-838-9060. Again, any questions about South County? Rosie is here. She's the expert. Now is the time. And let us know. We're here to help you. One more segment. We'll be back with you in just a couple minutes.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome back in. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon and spending some time with us. We're on the last leg here, just winding things down, the last segment. I'm with Rosie here. She's been with us several different times over the last couple of months, our South County expert, and she's with Interior Real Estate Services. She has gone over a little bit about the commute, what to expect, what's going on with that, some of the highlights, and shared some numbers with us. Now with a couple minutes left, Rosie, maybe tell us what's going on with any updates with schools, shopping, downtown areas before we let you go.
Sure. Well, now that we're in the Halloween week,
right.
Downtown Morgan Hill has a great event coming up on Halloween. It's called their Safe Trick or Treat event, and that is where they're going to close off the street on Monterey and have businesses pass out candy to kids in costume, and it's a great chance to have photos, pictures taken, and enjoy a safe Halloween. So that's going to be fun, and more information can be found at morganhilldowntown.org. And then also for Gilroy, a few events going on. 𝗥𝗲𝗡𝗍 Wine Bar is having a costume contest, and that's a great little place for having, doing some wine tasting. That's going to be Friday, October 30th from 9 to 2 in the afternoon, and 𝗥𝗲𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧.com is their website. And then at our lovely Gilroy Gardens Family Theme Park is also having some trick-or-treating available for the kids. to come and have their pictures taken, come in costume and enjoy the attractions and all the rides. And check out their homegrown pumpkins. So that's a nice thing. One of the other places I absolutely love is 𝗟𝗡𝗎 Farms in Morgan Hill. This place opens at 9. It's a huge pumpkin park. So if you love Halloween, you have to go check that out. They have attractions, hay ride, a train, pumpkin blaster. You get to shoot pumpkins, carousel, and a corn maze.
A lot of stuff going on.
Absolutely.
And can they get most of this too on your website, or is it? But where would they go to?
This will be posted on my blog called the SouthCountyLifestyle.com. I'll post it up this evening, and so that's where they can find all the details.
Very good. All right. Well, we got a minute or so left. We want to make sure if anybody wants to get a hold of you, if you could remind us of your website, phone number, email, best place to reach you, and
Absolutely.
Follow that blog.
My phone number is 408-607-9340. You can reach me that way by text. My email is Rosie, ROSIE, @PoliquinRealEstate.com. That's POLIQUIN. And then my new website, which is up, is RosiePoliquin.com.
Very good. And so I think the overall theme, it sounds like, is continued education, information about all that Gilroy and the South County has to offer.
Exactly.
I mean, there's so much. You just do yourself a favor. If you haven't been down there or you drive by, call Rosie. She'll give you a tour. See, I'm just offering your services now. You give them a tour, drive them around, show them what's going on. Right?
In fact, there's a lot of secret locations, as you yourself have
right.
admitted. You're not aware of some of these
now you
wonderful
have my
neighborhoods. Exactly. Yeah,
okay.
There's beautiful neighborhoods to visit.
Oh, very good. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. All right. Well, we're going to have to cut out. Thanks again for spending some time with us, Rosie. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Great show. This is 𝗘𝗀𝗁𝗧 with Real Estate Radio Live. Thanks again for tuning in. Remember, with you Monday through Friday from 3 to 4. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Take care and have a great afternoon.
You've been listening to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Tune in, log in, download our podcast. Discover more at RERadiolive.com. RERadiolive.com.